Hello. No one at the moment, but that's okay. It is 7:50. I have literally just finished watching the new episode of Doctor Who, The Woman Who Fell to Earth. So quick intros. If you're watching this live, then you're probably going to miss the intro part. But if you're watching this on the uploaded, yeah, I'm wearing two cardigans. This one's thin, and I was getting cold. If you're watching it on the re-uploaded, then hello. If this is the first time you've watching any of my videos, thank you, welcome. I do hope you stick around, but that's fine. So yeah, my name is Michelle. I've been mostly doing. Oh, hello, there's a person. I've mostly been doing unboxings and a daily vlog series, which I've been doing as a 365-day challenge. With this book, the unboxings tend to be general geekery and Harry Pottery stuff. But one of the things I haven't really touched on very much is the fact that I'm also a big Doctor Who fan. Whoops, there it goes. So you can see that picture up there is a sketch done by my partner's sister-in-law. And that clock, you should be able to see, my dad got me for Christmas. And as Doctor One's 12. That's basically everything I have on display. I also have other DVDs and videos and collections and stuff like that. This is my second time reviewing a Doctor Who related product. The first time was the previous Christmas special, Capaldi's Exit, Whittaker's Entrance, and that I liked. So the format for this review, three people, hello, is that I'm going to talk about my initial thoughts and reactions, which as you can tell are quite excitable, and then I've got a sign that I've made, and I'm going to get Forks to help me hold it up, and then when we're in the spoiler section, like non-stop spoilers, I will be putting it up in the corners, so if you are joining later, then you will see that, and then again, if you're already watching this, if you're coming in later, basically, if you don't see the sign, you should be fine. If you do see the sign, then obviously there are spoilers, so if you are coming into this after that point, then you should have some alert. So, initial reactions. I liked it. I really liked it. It was good. It was fun. Regeneration episodes are always kind of, touch and go. Some are good, some are bad. Previously, some of my favourite regen episodes have been Castrovalva. Yes, I don't care. I'm a Peter Davison fan. I really like the 11th Hour. I thought that was a good regen episode. Rose was a good premiere episode for Eccleston, but I don't necessarily count it as his regen episode. Mileage may vary, but that was still a very good episode for a pilot episode. 10 and 12 were alright. The Deep Breath was an interesting story, but not my favourite regeneration story. But as a regeneration story, I think this one really holds up. I think it's a lot of fun. Jodie Whittaker is adorable, and has a lot of energy. Okay, I obviously can't get too specific about the actual plot line, but her interactions with everyone she meets as she's meeting them is very sweet. It's very organic. One thing I will say, I guess not spoiler, there was no. It was an hour-long episode, and there was no actual, title sequence. So can't really share my thoughts on that yet. But I like Jodie Whittaker. The only thing I'd seen her in previously was Broadchurch, but I couldn't really remember her in it. Not that she was bad, just that I only recognised David Tennant and Olivia Colman, so everyone else's performance I enjoyed. Arthur Darvill was in it as well, wasn't he? Basically, you know the people you know, and then everyone else you just enjoy. But to be fair to Jodie, previously the only Doctor I'd seen anything of beforehand was Chris Eccleston anyway. So again, that's not a reflection on her, and I really liked her in this. Bradley Walsh, very good, very affecting. There's again, once we get into specifics, we will talk about that. But him, I had seen a few other things, most notably UK Law and Order UK, which also stars Freddie Mageman, and later on Peter Davison. So Doctor Who and British actors is very incestuous. Excuse me. Big bottle of water. I'm gonna have to look up the other actors' names. But the guy playing Ryan was very sweet. And the guy playing Yaz was also very the girl playing Yaz was also very sweet and cool, and I very much enjoyed all of their performances. Can't get to okay. One of my main concerns with the cast, not as individuals, but it's going to be a crowded TARDIS again. And again, before we get into spoilers, and I will be more specific, because of the nature of this being a thing happened, and then we all have to muck in to help solve the thing, you don't necessarily get the idea of how they'll be as a team. You do, they there's things and they bounce and it's good. But my concern was, is it going to be a crowded TARDIS and all this thing? And because of the nature of this story, you don't necessarily get the feel of how that's going to work long term. But the way it works now, it was good. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to future interactions with these characters. 5 people now, thank you. I don't know how many of you are bots, and I can't see any chat coming up, so I hope you're enjoying this anyway. So yeah, Alien Invasion on Earth, it's all good. I mean, that's not a spoiler, it's a Doctor Who story. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think what I can say to you that isn't a spoiler, that is get more specific. There's other characters that are obviously in and out. It was good. I enjoyed it. Okay. I saw one review from the premiere, like the one they had in Sheffield, that was dark and dour, but Jodie Whittaker sparkles. Yes, but I wouldn't say it was necessarily dour. It wasn't really kind of like, when I think dark and dour or dark and gritty, I think like Nolan's Batman or something. And it wasn't like that. It just happened that the story took place at night. I don't know if you heard that, but my Twitter went off. Okay, so it wasn't dour down there. It was dark because it was dark, but the places that needed to be lit up were, and then if it was moody, it made sense. So it was dark in the sense that it made sense for the lighting. Was the theme dark? A little, maybe, probably. Again, I can't be more specific without getting spoilers. 7. But yes, I didn't think it was dour necessarily. Like I said, I suppose I can talk non-spoilery a little bit about Jodie Whittaker and female Doctor. I wasn't. It's kind of a weird thing. Obviously, I'm 40. Doctor Who is over 50. So it is this thing that has been in my life forever. I mean, I'm British. Doctor Who is just, it's there. It's in the background. It's like background radiation. And I've not always been a fan, but then again, I've always enjoyed it when I've watched it. It's only with the new series. I kind of consider myself a new old fan. Hello, as a person. Hello here from the UK, just watched and I am massively disappointed. Well, we can discuss that in a minute. Please, if you are going to keep chatting to me, that's fine. But can you keep any spoiler comments to when we're actually in the spoiler zone? Thank you. I enjoyed it. I thought Jodie Whittaker was very good. I thought Bradley Walsh was very good. Thank you. Appreciate that, Matthew. Right, sorry, I lost my thread. Yeah. Oh yeah, so I'm a new old fan. I was a fan of the show when it was. Hello. I can't see what your name is. Sorry, I can't pronounce that. I was a fan of the show kind of growing up, but wasn't a fan of the show. And then when the new series started, I was like, oh, I really got into that. And then I went back and watched it once. That being said, I did watch the Paul McGann movie when it was live, and I did watch the Case of the Fatal Death, the Stephen Moffat Children Need special. So yeah, I'm not sure how much more I can sort of enthuse without getting into spoilers, except to say that I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good first episode. Oh yeah, thoughts on a female Doctor. As a concept, I mean, we've kind of introduced to the idea with Missy. As a concept, I never really had a problem with it in theory, but it's the whole thing of like when something is like over 50 years old and it's been one way, a change is always going to be weird. I once made a joke with my friend that if this is before any announcements were made, I think even before Capaldi was announced to be leaving, I always made the joke that if there was to be a female Doctor, then she should be played by Olivia Wilde because it'd be Doctor 13. And thumbs up if you get that joke. But I kind of predicted it, that it would be a female Doctor next. And so initially I was like, okay. But my reaction was always to wait and see. And I've sawn. And whatever you think of anything else specific to the episode, to the story going on, I honestly think Jodie did a very good performance. She was very adorable. I enjoyed her as the Doctor, and I look forward to seeing what happens next. And as I said, everyone else was very good as well. So if you're just joining, thank you. Initial thoughts before I get into the spoilers. I enjoyed it. If you judge for yourself, wait and see. I mean, like, it's like with any Doctor, any new Doctor. I mean, like Matt Smith is one of my favorite Doctors now. And I was a bit skeptical when he first got announced because, oh my god, he's like the youngest. And like, who is this funny looking dude? And like I said, he's my favorite. So wait and see. Make your own decisions. You have your own opinions. Of course, you can have your own opinions. But, I liked it. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next. And I think Jodie did a very good job. That being said, we are now entering the spoiler zone. So if you allow me a moment to put Fawkes as my official sign holder, and let's see if okay, 1 second. Anyone still around? How does that look? Does it need adjusting? Do I need adjusting? How's that? Are we good? Can we see the spoiler zone? Matthew, are you still there? Oh, we are officially in the spoiler zone. So, spoilers, if you watch my film reviews, you know what that means. I loved her character. Reminds me of David Tennant episode for me. That wasn't her character. I remember who. Okay. We'll get back to that. Remind you of David Tennant, what? Because you don't like David Tennant, or just because you thought she was cribbing too much? The way she acted. I think I see what you mean by that. Allow me to give the quick synopsis, and yeah, that's fine. Allow me to give a quick synopsis, and then we'll get more specific in a moment. So, basic plot is it opens quite effectively. Oh, I like David Tennant as well. He's a good bloke, but that's a separate story. So it opens with Ryan doing a vlog, and it has that kind of fakey out thing where he's like talking about the best woman he's ever met, and you're like, the part of your brain goes, oh, maybe he's talking about the Doctor, and then another part of you goes, oh no, it could be a fake out where he could be just talking about his girlfriend, like his woman he's just met, new love of his life. We'll get back to that. So then we're basically slowly introduced to all the characters. So we meet Ryan, we meet Graham and Grace, who is Graham's wife. Second, Graham is Grace's second husband. And then we meet Yasmin, who's a police officer. And basically, stuff's happening. Oh, actually, Yasmin's introduction is adorable. Sorry, not adorable, awesome. Because she's a copper, a police officer, and she's like dealing with a dispute between two people driving. She's like, can we agree that you're going to pay for her car, you're going to pay for her window, and we can all agree that parking around here is shit, or not good, and then I won't have to make any further police actions. And like that. So that was kind of cool. And so she's like, oh, I want something more interesting. And then of course there's a tentacle creature that's crashed into a thing. Before that we've got, so Ryan's learning to ride his bike because he has dyspraxia, which is a spatial awareness thing. So Ryan's trying to learn a bike. That's when we meet Graham and Grace. and he doesn't. He throws it in frustration, has to go down the hill to get it. It's up in a tree, and he finds this light pattern thing. He comes up in the air. He touches it. Oh, I've got a thumb up. Thank you. He touches it, and then this blue bulb thing appears. My initial thoughts on that was like, that is interesting. Later on, I had a thought of like, ooh, is that the TARDIS? Is the TARDIS like regrowing itself in the middle of this woods? Not the case. So then it goes on to the action. So Yaz ends up investigating the bulb because weird things. She wanted a weird thing, and so make sure people can see that. And it turns out that Graham and Ryan know each other because Graham married Ryan's grandmother, and Ryan and Yasmin Khan know each other because they're at school together. So all these three new companions are connected familially. So that's what I say when it said they actually have an interesting dynamic, and I'll be looking forward to seeing how it works out overall longer term. So yeah. So we've got the bulb in one place, then we've got a tentacle creature that goes through the train that you see in the trailer in another place. So you've got Grace, Graham, and a guy called Carl, who are on this train going in the various journeys. And tentacle creature comes along, and this is the point where the woman falls to earth, i.e., the Doctor, falls through the roof of the train car. This didn't quite land on the thing. So basically, there's a bit of Scooby-Doo chasing up and down the train to get away from the tentacle creature. Then she falls in through the hole. Makes the hole. And they're all like, ugh! And like, what? And she turns around, oh, tentacle creature, hello. Sorry, I will be busting into bad northern accents as we go along. And that's basically how we meet the Doctor for this episode, is that she's like, oh, you, creature, okay, everyone stand back, and she's kind of doing this thing, and Yaz and Ryan come along because Grace called Ryan when he was talking to Yaz. So that's how everyone gets together on the train. And from that point on, except for Carl, who decides, you know what, I'm good, I'm just going to go to work, if that's okay. He's already given Yaz his details, so he's on file. So he goes off, and then it's like the five of them basically running around and having shenanigans. And then the pod bulb thingy is taken away by this gentleman whose name I didn't get. It's Indian fellow who takes it to a garage area, and he's watching it and he's filming it. And that basically hatches, and it's this big old warrior guy that we find out is a Skimtar. I can't remember if that's one we've actually met before, but Tim Shaw is his name. Well, that's the running joke. So you've basically got a blobby thing and a big Terminator thing. The Terminator thing's going on killing everything, and the blobby thing's just basically chilling out on top of this I guess a kind of like industrial receiver or something. He's basically gathering electricity and information from this like tower. So yeah, that's basically the story, is the Doctor and the gang of people that she meets on the train trying to work out what's going on with two different aliens, which, as it turns out, are the same thing. And it's like basically Tim Shaw is doing this whole I warrior, I become leader, and she's like, you're cheating, you're not supposed to have weapons, you're cheating. And so that's it. It's kind of a basic alien invasion-y type story, but it's more specific to the fact that he, Tim Shaw, is hunting. Hello, goodbye. Thank you, George. He's hunting, as it turns out, Carl, and the tentacle thing in like put darts in them, like they get all electrocuted. So yeah, that's the story. They have to work together to work out what's going on with the hunter and with Ryan. No, Carl. Sorry, and yeah, and so initially she thinks, that it's two different races having a war. It's not. It's the tentacles a probe, and the warriors, the guy trying to get become. It's basically, I guess it's kind of Black Panther. Like the warrior becomes the leader, but it's not Black Panther. That's a crap analogy. But he's like, if I get this trophy, I become leader. Black Panther's way more humane. So I know I'm stopping because I'm aware that I'm talking quite fast, so I'm trying to calm myself down a little bit. So it is basically, that's why I say it's dark, because it all takes place at night, because it's all one night in Sheffield, and who knows. So yeah, basically the bad guy is trying to kidnap Carl to be his trophy. Carl's just trying to go to work and get on with it. He's a crane operator because it's his dad's company, because he doesn't like heights. That's the thing. But yeah, that's the basic story. I know! Say, Matthew just said he's gutted that he didn't have the intro. Yes, I missed that. I missed it for 2 reasons. One, I like seeing the new intro. And two, I mistimed making my cup of tea, and I was waiting for the intro to go get my tea, which is now cold. So that's the basic plotline. Funny lines, yes, but I can't quite remember them all. There was a lot of, who are you? That's a good question. I haven't worked that one out yet. Are you a doctor? Because I'm looking for a doctor. A lot of stuff like that. Now, Matthew made the point that he felt that she was kind of David Tennant-y. I felt she was a bit more Matt Smithy. But then again, every Regeneration story has that, oh, who am I? Who are you? Oh, I can't quite remember. I will say, and feel free to agree or disagree, that when we finally got to the I am the Doctor moment, that was like, yes, there she is. And that felt really good. Really cool action scenes, because there's Crane, the guy's chasing up the hunter decides to chase Carl up the crane, and so they basically get on another crane, try and line them all up so he can jump across, but then he didn't quite do it, so he has to try and jump down. And she's like, the hunter grabs him because he's already there at that point, so she has to jump up, and she's like, does it? She jumps up, she grabs hold, and she's like, oh, I'm sure these legs used to be longer. And then she managed to climb up and have her big finale and conclusion. There was a moment. So basically, she does the fake out thingy where, like, I've got your recall device. If you try and blow us up or blow my friends up, I will drop it. And, like, so kind of a Mexican standoff thing. Turns out she tricked him, which is fair enough. And then she throws the recall device at him as he's falling, or he's kind of in death throes because the bombs that he put into everyone else, it's now in him. And then Carl kicks him off, and he kind of disappears because his transport works. And she's like, you had no right to do that. But nothing else happens. We don't see Carl again, so I don't know if that's like she was angry with him or what. But I think there was a missing scene. But that was like, was something else supposed to happen there? I don't know. So so you basically, throughout it all, you've got all these people working together to solve the problem and working really well together. Whether or not that's because they all know each other or not could have a lot to do with it. If you don't know, I'm a temp, and I've been into places like, I'm the new person, and that team dynamic of like, okay, what needs doing, how do we do it, camaraderie. If you've got a common goal, you kind of get that group think together and work well together anyway, especially if you've got someone good to lead you. But otherwise it's so I think they could have worked well together. I'm confused. What part of that sonic screwdriver needed a MIG welder? I haven't got to that part yet. I haven't got that part yet. I think that was a joke, actually. So yeah, they all work well together. You could argue because they all know each other, but I would argue that if you're in a situation, you could still work well together anyway. So there's lots of power cables and things running around because the tentacle creature works off electricity, so they basically short it out and like do rings around it and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. So yes, sorry I didn't catch your name, but she makes her own sonic screwdriver. That's the bit in the trailer where she's got the goggles on and doing the whole thing. It's kind of this whole, A-team, industrial building the thing. And she says, I need the thing. She's saying about she doesn't know where the TARDIS is. And there is a moment where you think, is she building like a mini TARDIS, like TARDIS, like Sexy and 11 did? I love the metal of the Sonic was made from melted down. Yes. Sorry. Tux the Penguin was saying about the MIG welder, and sorry I didn't catch your name. So basically, yeah, she's grabbing everything. The sonic screwdriver is made in a whole big 18 montage where you think she's making something big because, big flamethrowers, big hammers, big malleting at one point. Good reference to the 12th. Which one was that, Matthew? Sorry? McCrackenstein was the spoon comment. And then it turns out it's just a sonic screwdriver. The spoons. I like a good spoon. Spoon jokes are good. I'll be honest, I've only watched the Capaldi era once. I haven't rewatched it, so some references are passing me by. So that was kind of funny, because I quite like that when they do big action, big industrial, lots of going on, lots of banging, lots of smoke, lots of noise, lots of fire, and then the result is just a tiny little thing that, just hold in your hand. Probably no bigger than that, and that kind of made me laugh. There was lots of funny lines, but right now I can't remember them. So that was cool. That was a fun scene. So spoilers. I know we're already in the spoiler zone, but actual spoilers for the end, which I think was very good and very well done. So they're running around this industrial area where the cranes are. They need to fight off the tentacle creature. So Ryan and Yaz have gone up the second crane to help the Doctor rescue Carl. Meanwhile, Graham and Grace have stayed on the ground, first of all, to clear the area, which they just grab a couple of high visors and clipboards and say, come on, we got to go, like, authorities have been called. It's very effective. It proves the point. If you've got enough confidence and a clipboard, you can get away with anything. So, yeah, they did that. And then they realised, because the Doctor was like, no, you have get everyone else out and then leave yourself. But they were like, no, because the tentacle creature had switched from going to Carl's crane to the crane that the Doctor and everyone else was on. So like, no, we've got to do this. We've got to stop it from attacking them. Right, Ryan's up there. And so Graham goes into the cupboard to do the mains electric cupboard to do his technobabble, his wibbly wobbly, whatever. But then Grace goes up and starts climbing the scaffold and sticks this long probe thing in that the Doctor made earlier, straight up, basically up into the middle of the tentacles. And, for my grandson, all this stuff, and like, get off my planet. And of course, I don't know how much electricity goes through her, but basically she kills them, but then she falls. She's an older lady anyway. We don't know how much electricity she's taken. And that was a pretty hard fall. So yeah, Grace dies. I was gutted. I love this woman. She was amazing. Proper, I will say sort of typical black grandma woman, but she was cool. She was awesome. She just got on with it, and she didn't care. And her death is very effective. Very well done. Like I said, I'm confused with the ending. Sorry, I haven't spoken about that. If we haven't spoken, no, I'm talking about the ending now. So, I'm not sure what specifically you mean, but basically, yeah. So Grace die. Oh, the ending. No, we haven't got that yet. Grace dies, and that's like, oh wow, someone, and they went there, because I was wondering, like, so you've got 4 people that are working with her now, but 3 people are the ones that go forward. So I was wondering if it was the case that either she would die, which is the direction they went in, or if she would just say to him, oh, go off and go have your adventure, come back and tell me the stories. But no, they didn't. This is what I said at the beginning, where Bradley Walsh had a very affecting scene, because he does give the funerary speech. He does talk about Grace and his relationship, and him being angry because he's like, I wanted more time. He was saying, like, she would have told me to stop being silly, we've had our time, and he's like, no, but I wanted more. And I was like, damn, Brad, bring in the tears, bring in the effectiveness. So to that point, I can understand why maybe this, I didn't read the review, I just read the headline. To that point, I can understand why they might have said it was dour as well as dark. So dark because it primarily took place at night, and then dour because it was a downer ending. So, yes, I guess you could call it that, but I wouldn't necessarily say, oh, this is dark and dour because it's, you know, moody and gritty and it doesn't fit the theme. No, it fit the theme. It takes place at night, and there's a funeral at the end, so that would be dark and dour. So yeah, that was really, really kind of, wow, that, well done. Yeah, they went there, and that was really affecting. And like I said, bravo performances from Bradley Walsh and everyone else. And so there's moments, we get back to Ryan's vlog, where it turns out, yes, the amazing woman he's talking about was his grandmother, and she died doing what she loved best, which was saving people. She died saving the world, and let's face it, if we're all going to go out some way, there are worse ways to go out. If you're going out saving the world, then I salute you and thank you. But that's that. So because of that, he decides to, he tries to ride his bike. He's still not good, but he goes out and he tries to learn how to ride his bike properly. And then the doctor's watching him from top of the hill, and then she follows him back to, yes, no, this takes place before the funeral. So presumably that's where she's talking to Ryan, because his dad, Grace's son, didn't turn up to the funeral. But that's the presumption. He was like supposed to be there 2 hours ago or something. So we have that. We have the scene where she's talking to, because Ryan, obviously Graham's in the speech, Ryan's at the funeral, Yaz is at the funeral a little bit further back, and then the doctor's at the back, and she stood up watching from the back. And then so they're all talking outside, and Yaz is like, you know what, you need a new outfit. She's, oh yeah, haven't bought women's clothes in ages. So they do the whole it's not a big wardrobe scene where she goes through picking stuff out. It's quite cute. They actually take her to a charity shop, and you just see her, well, you hear her in behind the curtain going, nope. And, Yaz is stood there holding this pile of clothing, and that's when she comes out in her new outfit, and she's like, that's what you're going with? I'm like, yeah, you like it. And so we get the new outfit. This is the only other time I've seen the Doctor wearing the previous Doctor's outfit for this long is the 11th hour. I think every other time the Doctor's gotten changed pretty quick. Okay, 10 was in his jammies for most of the episode, and then his iconic outfit, but that was still not 9's outfit. And then obviously 11 was in it for most of the time. 12 was in his jammies as well for quite a lot of the episode. Maybe that's just a trend. And obviously Classic Who, they sort of got changed reasonably quickly. Wasn't always right at the end of the episode. But that's a sidebar. So the very end, which I think Matthew's referring to, is how the companions end up travelling with the Doctor. So Jerry rigs all the Scrimtar, the alien hunter race, because they've still got his pod, and obviously he was in the garage where the Indian fella took him. Oh yeah, the Indian fella took the pod because they'd abducted his sister. That's how they knew it happened before. He was cool. It was a shame he died, but he initially like, what's he doing? And it's like, oh wait, he has his reasons. So basically, she's jerry rigging everything. She's trying to make some kind of I guess it's like a transmat, where she says she's been tracking the TARDIS energy signature, and she thinks she knows where it's gone, but she needs to get to it. So everyone's holding something. They got Yaz hooks up the cable. Graham's holding the battery. They all kind of do things. How they end up traveling with the Doctor? She accidentally abducts them. Hartnell deliberately abducted them. She accidentally abducts them. So yeah. I mean, there's a few other cases throughout the head. I can't remember every single companion intro at this moment. But Actual abduction has always been a little bit more of a accident, like a deliberate act. But no, she accidentally abducts them. They transport to as close to the alien, the TARDIS signature as they can get to, which means not only do they all poof off of Earth, even though only the Doctor wants to go there, they end up in space, literally in space. And that's the cliffhanger. And no, Matthew, I don't understand it either. Because all I can think of is the TARDIS going to rematerialize around them and then she's going to land? Or because in the teaser trailer, so we had the end credits, we had the teaser, which was basically her saying, "Oh, this is exciting. Are you excited?" And then a whole rogues gallery of upcoming actors in their roles. And then the episode ended, and then immediately after we got the trailer, but it was just the trailer that was on telly normal. So in the trailer, it does look like they're on some kind of there is a spaceship and people in space outfits, doing whatever their jobs are. So at the moment, my best theory is that whoever the people that they're meeting on this planet are, they pick them up. They sort of get them into their ship and then land them safely onto the planet. And then whatever happens, happens. Because it can't be more than a few... I don't know how long the Doctor... Well, 5 was in space for... He had a helmet on, but 5 was in space for quite a little while in the one with the frog people. Damn, can't remember it right now. Anyone remember the one where he was throwing cricket balls at the space station and getting away from the frog people? So he was in space for quite a while. So she probably can, because she. The running theory is that every time the Doctor experiences anything, that kind of gets written into their code, and so they become better. Like 4 died by falling off of a great height. Many years later, 10 realizes, oh, I can survive this much of a fall, which I think is pretty much greater than the one in Logopolis. So yeah, the idea that for everything that they experience, they become stronger the next regeneration. And so for as long as 5 could stay in space, 13 should be able to stay in space a little bit longer. The humans, no. So I'm guessing that they get rescued quick sharp, otherwise... do you mean the 4th Doctor episode with the worm or the Ark in Space? No, Ark in Space was the one with the Indomitable speech, wasn't it? I mean the one with 5 and the frog people, where they had the Aborigine people, because cricket balls, yes. Were they? No, it was definitely 5 the episode because it was a cricket thing. So yeah, that was, like I said, she can survive for a little bit, the humans not so much. So my theory is they get picked up pretty quick smart. So yeah, I've been talking for nearly 40 minutes. And there's not much more I can say. You're welcome to your own opinions, and I'm talking, well, everyone who's watching is still here, thank you, but directly to Matthew, you're allowed to be disappointed, and it's okay, and anyone else who's in here, but I know Matthew's the only one who's expressed that he's actually disappointed. That's cool, because at least you watched it. At least you gave it a chance and made your own decision and didn't base your opinion on somebody else's. So for that, I salute you, sir. Yeah, it's a weak salute. But that's fine. You're allowed to be disappointed. You're allowed to not have liked something so long as you tried it for yourself. Which is, I always say that when it comes to food, I'll try anything once as long as someone else is paying. With the possible exception of snails, because they just look icky. But anyway, so yeah. My thoughts are I enjoyed it. I think Jodie was adorable. I think everyone else worked really well together. I think Bradley Walsh definitely... just for that funerary speech, I think, Bradley Walsh probably gets the bestest award, like the MVP. I think America's got MVP, most valuable player. just for that scene. But between the four of them, the five of them, including Grace, they all did really good work, and I enjoyed it. As a regeneration story, I think it was a good one. It's up there, like I said, one of my favorites is 11th Hour, and I think it's definitely kind of there with 11th Hour. I don't know if I'm gonna I probably won't rewatch it until I get to the end. But otherwise, yeah. Thank you for enjoying my listening to my ramble. Yeah, I'm gonna sign off now because I am just into full-on waffle mode now. I liked it. I'm looking forward to more. I'm definitely going to be watching more. If you have joined me on this live stream, if you're one of the people that have been there all the way through or bouncing in and out, either way, thank you for checking this out. My Twitter is at Phoenix11 PHEONIX. It's the same as the channel address. Otherwise, yeah, thank you for watching. Did anyone, before I sign off fully, did anyone else have any other comments or things they wanted me to talk about, or not? Nope, nothing's coming up. All right, so yeah, this has been fun. I will probably do this again next week, the live streaming reactions, and whoever watches, and whoever watches it later, awesome. So thank you for having watched live. Thank you for anyone who's watching it later on. I've been Michelle, you've been listening, and I will see you next week. Bye!